What is up, everyone? Big day yesterday in the markets. Today, Starbucks, I saw it's down 15%. CVS is down like 18%. And of course...
Helping the cause.
And of course...
Their same-store sales were struggling, so I was like, you know what? I'll go pick them up.
Can't hear Mo very well. Let me put this volume up. Can you go again, Mo?
I said...
there you go.
The same-store sales were struggling, so I'll help them a little bit.
That's good. Starbucks thanks you. Howard Schultz thanks you as he tries to bring something. And then today is the big Fed announcement day.
Tis.
2
p.m. 2 p.m. / 2:30.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the statement comes out at 2 p.m., then Powell speaks at 2:30.
Yeah. Jobs, 192,000 today. So big jumps there. And of course, we're going to keep repeating till we're blue. By the way, I want to talk about something here, Mo. I'm going to pull the curtain back on our channel a little bit, okay? I want to pull the curtain back on our channel.
Okay.
Back in end of August, we were seeing a decline in our views. So for the longest time, I was like, oh, it's temporary. Finally, I was like, no, it's not temporary. So I told Tim, go find a consultant for us. He ended up settling on a consultant. I just pulled the data, guys. And it's important because it affects you guys, the viewer. They really whipped us into shape. From June 1st to August 31st, 41% of our videos, 41% did not exceed 20,000 views. In the last 3 months, February 1st to April 30th, 6% did not exceed 20,000 views. And immediately when I said that, you know what Tim said to me? I even know what those 4 videos were. Like the fact that he even knew immediately what those 4 videos were. That's what's incredible. And I only say that because if I'm willing to go hire consultants to help me, shouldn't everybody in the world? Like I literally look at it going, I pay therapists, I pay a chess coach, I pay a YouTube consultant, I pay so many, we have business consultants within our business that help on the higher level things. We hire sales consultants. Who do you think you are if you don't believe in being around like-minded people? Literally, I ask you that question. And I'm not saying that to attack. I'm literally saying that to say, what kind of world do we live in that a guy like me, and I'm not meaning this to be cocky, that has more money than I'll ever need. Literally, if my brother said to me tomorrow, Paul, let's just sell everything and we're retired and done, we would do that. We could do that. If I'm willing to hire consultants to make me better, why can't you? And luckily, the people watching this live stream right now are part of the people who are wanting to learn because you're on this live stream. And I look at this thinking to myself, I don't know. I just think to myself, I love living in that world where I can go find somebody to make me better in whatever we do, right? You know, we have 7 or 8 people working on this channel almost full time. And then we still brought a consultant on. And guess what? That consultant is expensive. And guess what? He has more than paid for himself. How many times over? If we just stopped using him today, the return's like 10x in 1 year. That's it. That's just absolutely it. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this going, oh my gosh. Daddy Paul, yeah. Do you mind mentioning a couple other tips? I'm curious what they changed. Okay, great question. 1, we started focusing on the viewer journey, as Tim calls it, and they call it. We're trying to make every video part of we have these avatars of 3 or 4 avatars of you guys. So everybody falls into like a certain group, and then we make videos based on what that person is and what kind of videos they'd want to watch. Another thing we did was start the second channel. The second channel was a big change for us. Why are you laughing, Tim? Oh, got it. The second channel was big in terms of separating the viewer journey. Most everybody likes getting news very quickly. That's what this channel's for. But not everybody wants to watch a ton of videos about mentality all the time. So when you put them all together, they're fighting each other. The other thing is, you guys notice, our intros used to be a half a minute to a minute long. Now they're like 3 or 4 seconds long. You probably don't even notice them. Things like that we've done, but every video has a purpose as to who you are and what we're trying to accomplish and get to you in that. And that's what's very important for us. Our average percentage watch time per viewer was like low 30% back in last summer, right, Tim? And now it's close to 50%, which means the average viewer, why are you going like that?
Because it depends on the video.
Okay.
But we look at like the average view per viewer, and that's gone up.
Oh yeah, the average view per viewer. We're doing less videos, but yet you guys are watching double the number of videos. That tells us we're making better quality videos that you guys care about. And that's what's important. So
yeah, and it was hard to be everything money on one channel. And that's why like some of you don't even know. I'm not going to tell you. Let YouTube push it to you if that's your interest. But Mo has a trading channel. We have this channel, which is giving you the news, and then we have the main channel.
And we're going to start a fourth channel soon. And guys, guess
Yeah.
what? We're not going to tell anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's not to be a jerk. It's to say, I know we can get 2,000 subscribers on that channel in 2 seconds. But the point is we need to get people who find us naturally because that's a big factor involved. So, that's very big stuff. And look at the comments here. Love the reaction time of this channel. Second channel was an amazing idea. Yeah, from 7 to 8 businesses upstairs to 7 or 8 people working for you. That's true. It used to be 8 or 9 businesses, Hans. Go after yourself. Is my cousin here? He said he was going to watch. Yusuf, please say hi in the chat if you're here, because if you're not here, I'm going to kill you. Starbucks and CVS are down big today.
I don't love CVS.
Yeah. Yeah, look it up. 15% for Starbucks. Now, guys, it's funny. I saw a comment on YouTube and I laughed. The person goes, looks like your process isn't working very well. And I'm like, clearly you don't understand what the process is then. The process is you can't buy a stock and expect it to go like this. The process is when a stock falls like this, is it a permanent fall or is it just market overreaction? The question I ask for you is a 15% drop in Starbucks stock reasonable for what happened, what they announced yesterday? That's the question. Very simple. And of course, I don't think it is, but other people might, and more power to them. And now I'm in the negative on my Starbucks purchase. Do I care, Mo?
No. Actually, yes, you do care because it's cheaper and now you can buy more.
Correct.
at a cheaper price.
Yeah. I just got a notification from SoFi. Check your bank account. We just paid you interest. It was $3.02. Got it.
I got one from Apple this morning. It was like, we just paid you 41 cents. I'm like, yeah.
$3.02 I got. I'm like, oh, thanks, SoFi.
MasterCard reported earnings today.
Oh, MasterCard did? How are they doing?
Yeah, EPS of $3.31, which was a beat over $3.24 expected. Revenue of $6.3 billion, but missed expectations of $6.34 billion.
So $40 million miss. Stock is down 2%. This is a big holding of our good friend Guy Spear. He's got a big holding in MasterCard. And guys, for those of you who are not part of our community, the wait list has started. It started yesterday. It's sold out very early in the afternoon. So if you're not part of our community, go sign up now.
Here's CVS and why it's down. They reported an EPS of $1.31, which the expected, or I guess their estimated, was $1.69.
Ooh, that's a big miss.
And the revenue of $88.4 billion, which was an estimated $89.33 billion. So double miss.
Big miss.
It actually should be up 10%. With that double miss, right?
Tim's been loving this since Tesla reported a double miss, and then stock skyrocketed. And then, was it Google reported? Who was it that fell after the double beat? Meta. Sorry, thank you. It was Meta. Yeah, that's funny. So anyways, guys, Thai TV, I really hope we get a much bigger fall than that. Guys, at the end of the day, let's look at stock market to GDP ratio. I love talking about this ratio.
Do you want to hear Pfizer real quick? They also reported.
Take me off. Go to Mo real quick.
Okay, go to Mo. Hey, Mo. So Pfizer reported 82 cents EPS over an estimated 54.
Oh, wow.
A revenue of $14.9 billion with an estimated $14.2 billion. And they're up. Wow. They're up.
Nice. For them, I think their acquisition of Seattle Genetics was phenomenal. Let's see what their revenue is. Okay.
And they're up 3%.
That was COVID. Let me go here. Maybe it stabilizes around here. That was kind of the bet that I made on Pfizer, is that the revenue is going to stabilize around these parts. Sorry, that's Teddy. Especially with the acquisition of Seattle Genetics, big antibody company that was acquired by by Pfizer. Okay, but Pfizer makes they have good drugs. It's funny, Paul, when you think about Pfizer, only people think about COVID and they think, oh, the COVID drugs. They don't realize how good of a company Pfizer is. They're literally the kings of the world when it comes to viruses.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Mo?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Guys, this is our stock market to GDP ratio. 91% overvalued. Listen, every investment's a present value of all future cash flow. You know, there's a lot of arguments as to why this is not an accurate representation anymore, but then you look at the 10-year CAPE, cyclically adjusted PE ratio, which takes in earnings, actual earnings, no matter where it's earned, and you're 98% overvalued. Listen, I just think the next 10 years aren't going to be that great, but it's okay. You can still make a lot of money in the next 10 years. How? Dollar cost averaging. Sticking to it, if you want to buy individual stocks on top of that, sticking to a process when you see pullbacks like this on companies that you love, you keep buying them and your basis becomes lower and lower. That way, the next time a big bull market happens, you're going to ride that wave up. You're absolutely going to ride that wave up. Let's say hypothetically, Google fell in half today. If Google fell in half today, you're telling me that 10 years from now, Google's not going to be generating more revenue and profit than it is today? It probably will be. So if you're smart and have the balls to do it, the emotional balls to do it, that's what makes investing hard. You buy some shares. If it goes down further, you buy more. That's the process we're trying to teach. That's the reason why the community is there, for the emotional support there. Because if you're able to buy great companies at good prices, then when the next bull market run comes, those stocks are going to do very well. That's just it. That's just it. Oh, thanks very much, Derek. I appreciate that.
Hey, Mo, can you check and see if you can find Generac earnings? They also reported today. Sure. And if there's any earnings that anybody else wants to discuss with Paul and Mo, be fun.
Generac. They reported already today? What did they report? Oh, that's what you were saying.
They reported.
Well, they are even. They're basically even right now.
Estimate of 76 cents. They came in at 88 cents. Revenue estimate of 886.6 million, came in at 889.3 million. So they beat top and bottom.
So guys, Generac's a company I own. Don't buy it just because I do. Find your own process. If it fits in your portfolio and you understand it, do whatever you want with it. But I bought it at 83 and it shot up immediately. And guys, I'm not saying this to brag because I don't like the fact that it shot up. But I'm also saying it to say, old Paul would have probably waited because the market was so overpriced and said, maybe it'll go down further and I missed out that opportunity. This last bull market has really taught me a lot of great lessons that are going to make me even more money down the road. One of which is, don't try to worry about where the market valuation is when it comes to anything. Just buy good. It's called a bottoms-up approach. Focus on the company, buy a good company at a good price. If it gets cheaper, you buy even more of it, right? Look at Generac. It was $524 a share 3.5 years ago. $524 down to $136 and actually hit $80 recently. That was a fall of 85%. Holy cow. 80, what was that? Oh, that was you. Got it. I mean, that's incredible. An 85% fall for the company. 85%, Mo. That was a $50 billion company not long ago.
That's
market cap wise. Incredible. You know, Daniel texted me this morning. You know what he said? Paul, Starbucks is down 15%. I was like, yeah. He's like, can I buy a share? Can I buy some more? I go, yeah, just buy one share. He goes, okay. He was so excited. I mean, Daniel's starting out his journey. He doesn't have much money, so one share is still a big enough chunk for him. Yes, Hans. Paul, Tony Blinken recently went to China and threatened to sanction Chinese banks that didn't cut ties. Thoughts as a Baba owner? There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be very, very negative on China, and I just think that's a temporary thing. It could last 10 years. I don't know, but the point is, I think overall, I think about China, and I think, will it be more economically free 10, 20 years from now than today? And if it is, will Baba benefit from that? And I think based on the valuation, I'm fine with that. I don't know where Baba's going to go in the next 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no idea. All I know is eventually people will see the value in Baba, I think.
China.
What do you think when a stock is much cheaper than the book value? Stoen, good question. I don't really look at book value per share that much. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on this. I think certain companies should be, like insurance companies, like banks. They should be focused on book value per share. But the old days of building factories and all that stuff, that really affected book value per share. But a lot of service-oriented businesses, I don't really look at it that much. That's my honest opinion on that one. Don't buy anything before Powell speaks. Yeah, I don't know about that, Richard. That's funny. Venti Starbucks share. Oh, I just got that, Matt. Good one. Matt's been sending me some fire Instagram posts lately.
Really?
Yeah, they've been sending me some good ones.
I haven't been on Instagram in a while. Some people message me. I go in there like every couple weeks and look at messages. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, though. Still alive."
Hey, I'm still alive. What's more important, EPS or PE? Well, they're different things. EPS is part of PE. EPS is the E of PE when comparing the price of the stock to the EPS. So what's more important? PE. EPS is a factor in it though, but overall you still want to look at PE. But the question is a PE of 8 better than 20? All things equal? Yes, but all things aren't equal, right? A company that has 10 times their free cash flow in debt and isn't growing very much, 8 might be too much. I don't know. A dying business, 8 might be too much. 20 might be too low for a very fast growing, great company. So the EPS is a part of PE. Paul, will you still do more cash secured puts on Starbucks? Yep, once I'm allowed to. We have a rule in our company where I'm not allowed to make a video and do anything about it for 48 hours.
I can't wait to see what Apple reports tomorrow, because everybody's expecting phone sales to be really hit in China, but the AI thing that they're coming out with, this AI Siri, is supposed to be pretty big. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Hey, what's going on with the Vision Pro? Like, people are like, did you see they altered their estimates like in half on how many units they're going to sell?
I mean, what was their expectation to sell? Do you know? Because I don't know anybody that's bought that thing.
I don't know anybody either. Does anybody here know somebody who's bought the Vision Pro?
The only person that I literally know that has bought it is a YouTube person. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, that was Marquez Brown. Actually, he probably didn't even buy it.
I was going to say, he probably didn't buy it.
Yeah.
By the way, if I were Marquez Brownlee, I'd buy every product just to show I'm not biased. Well, maybe not. Oh, thanks very much, Ty TV. That's very nice. Are you still bullish on Intel? Mauricio, what I'm willing to say about Intel is this. I think it's a huge turnaround play. It's not for the faint of heart. Saying I'm bullish on it, I'm bullish on the price to reward, the risk to reward ratio in my head. That's what I'm bullish on. I'm not putting a big chunk of a normal position size on Intel, because if I'm wrong, I'm okay losing that money. But if I'm right, I think it'll make a difference in my portfolio. Intel is a long turnaround play, not for the faint of heart. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. Vision Pro was a flop. So far, it's been, I think, not as a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I think when there's practical uses for it, it'll be. I mean, obviously, it didn't, like when the Meta Quest came out. It was very towards gaming. Gaming was what it was all about. They had the App Store of gaming. They don't really have that. I don't even know what their goal was with this thing. I can't really pinpoint it, but I think they'll probably eventually move it to business. Paul, I would buy one if we could have like a Zoom call in the same room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like part of it's kind of like a metaverse kind of thing.
Use for it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't even seem like they have like a goal for it or a defined client base that they're targeting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, the Vision Pro looks pretty cool. I think it's awesome. I think the idea is great, but $3,500, that was where I was like, listen, I got money, and I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
was like, Mo loves Apple, and he's got money, and he was like, I don't know about that.
I buy every single Apple product that comes out, with
Except
the
for Vision
exception
Pro.
of probably like Mac Pros. I buy everything, and I had zero interest in this thing.
Yeah. Renewable energy. I don't really do energy very well, Cipri. Like Enphase, I just look at those energy companies and say, I would be interested when the underlying commodity is at like very low levels relative to history. That's my take on it. Hey, Paul and Mo, recently got accepted to new company advice for starting somewhere new. Oh, that's awesome. Taylor, you know what I tell everybody when they start a job? Be the most relied on person at that company. That's it. You will never lose a job. Because guess what? If everybody needs you, when times are tough, you're the last person to be let go. And you're the first person to be promoted. And if you don't get promoted, for whatever reason, you'll have the experience to go find something else. But I say that to everybody who has a job anywhere. Just be the most reliable person that your boss can rely. Like if you're the go-to for the higher ups, how are they ever going to fire you? So yeah. All right. What's the market doing right now? Let's see. All right. S&P is down 0.3, NASDAQ's down 0.2, Dow is up 0.14. Is Intel below 30 yet? Speaking of Intel.
It was real close yesterday.
So close. So close. I mean, look at this company. It was over $50 just a few months ago. Literally, what was the high? 51.28 in December. That's so funny. 3 months is down 30%. Yeah, it's so funny. The market's a fickle beast, my friends.
So do we know what's happening today? Is it baked in? It's totally baked in. Nothing's happening today, right, with Powell?
I would be very shocked if he raised or lowered rates today. Wouldn't you, Mo? What are the odds? Like 1% on the cut?
So I'll pull it up. But yesterday it was 96% chance that it's going to stay the same. I'm assuming it's 99% chance right now it's going to stay the same for today. Yeah. There's actually a 1% chance it increases, not decreases. Wow.
Look at that. Kai Ling. So first off, Park, I will address your CVS comment. But Kai, I like this question. Paul, I've been putting 75% of my paycheck in investing. Jesus. 75%. That's awesome. When it comes to buying a new house, listen, you got to divide up your money into certain goals. Maybe you take that 75% down to 40% so you can save for that house and wedding. At the end of the day, a house and wedding are very important things. And even if you save 35 or 40%, you're probably... Have you used our retirement calculator, Kai? If you're still on pace, then there's a thing to be said for enjoying life still. Die with Zero is a book that kind of changed my viewpoint on money. It kind of altered the way, I don't believe in everything he says, but it's very interesting what he says. Now, Park Bear, CVS's future forecast. I didn't look at their forecast. Walgreens is a dog. It's a company that I got lucky on by exiting. It's got a really low ROIC and a lot of debt. From what I remember, I think CVS is better, but I don't remember exactly. Don't quote me on that one. But listen, CVS and Walgreens have great real estate, and they're still going to be needed for a long time, I have to think. They're still the place you go to when you're driving by saying, oh, shoot, let me go pick up this while I'm driving home. You know, things like that. Is it going to be obsolete as time goes on if there's like drone deliveries? Yeah, maybe. But are people going to stop driving cars? They still have great locations. They're big on their locations. The Starbucks of buy now. We did a video this morning on Starbucks. Hey, what's up, Bar? Remember, guys, sign up for this community. $7 for 7 days. Nick put the link in there because we have a reserved number of spots every day. We start the day with X number of spots. Once they're hit, you hit a wait list. So make sure you sign up early. Yesterday, we hit that early afternoon. We ran out of spots. Now, the good news is you can still expedite your wait list, make it go faster by doing certain things. But if you want guaranteed spot in, you got to go sign up when there's available spots. Where's the thumbs up button? I don't know. Where is the thumbs up button? I feel like I'm having an allergic reaction, just like Nick is having. My face is getting tingly, Mo. What'd I do?
You were going to go back and address that CVS question.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Starbucks is now down nearly 16%.
Oh, thank you very much, Pentelis. Hey, Mo, what do you have on Bristol Myers? Do you have any comments on Bristol Myers?
No, not really.
Whenever it's pharmaceutical, we always talk about the pipeline.
Yeah, and frankly, I think that I almost think this is one of those companies. So when they acquired Celgene, 2018, 2019, I think they're one of those companies where they're like too big for their own good. It just doesn't seem like management has it. Now, of course, I have no idea, but the stock price, their drug sales, everything is reflecting it's not going as well as it should be going with what's going on at Bristol Myers. I don't like Bristol Myers right now. I'd much rather go after something like Pfizer. There's a pretty clear path forward for an equally cheap stock.
Got it.
That's my just loose opinion.
Jim, the $7 is the trial. You can try it for $7. After that, there's a monthly and yearly option. So go check out that page. It explains it. And I think it's well worth the try. And remember, at the end of the day, investing is about having the right tools and the right emotion. Our community and software handle both. If you want to, I mean, that's the thing. By the way, if anybody out there is looking for a vacation rental home on a lake and wants to partner with me on one, my brother and Mo don't want to do it because Mo buys 18 houses a year. But I want to buy a house in Georgia. I found a perfect house, but I don't want to buy it myself for some reason. Because even though I have the money, I'm just being a wuss, I guess. So if anybody wants to do it with me, let me know. It's a $3 million house. Express your love for Paul, Hans. Yeah, there you go. He's too big for his own good. Thanks. My girlfriend says the same. Luxury EI Cybertruck Robotaxi when? That's funny.
When are you getting this? What's the deal with the Cybertrucks?
I have no idea. I have no clue when I'm getting that.
At some point?
I got to think I'm a year or two away from that. Oh, there's Yusuf. Finally. Yusuf comes in. He did say hi above? Man, I had to text him last night and say, Yusuf, don't forget. And he said, don't worry, I have it on my reminders. And he sent me a screenshot. I was like, son of a bitch, I can't even get my family to watch me. How am I going to get 257 other people to do it like they are now? Nike's almost at 90. Ooh, let's look at Nike. Me like you, the Nike. Look at Nike. Thank you very much, Mo. 180 per share back in November of 2021, 2.5 years ago. It is now at $90, hit a low last year of 88.66. It's almost at a 52-week low right now. Guys, I asked 3 questions. 1, do I think Nike will be around for the next foreseeable future? Answer is yes. 2, do I think for that foreseeable future they'll have more revenue and profit later than they do today? My answer with Nike is yes. 3, can I pay a reasonable price for Nike today? If the answer to 3 is yes, I have one question. What are you doing? That's the process I use for myself buying companies. It's very simple, but I really believe that whole keep it simple, stupid idea. I don't want to worry about, look at Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is going through hell right now. Their profit margin is like 1.7%. You go before COVID, it was 10 to 15%. So I'm basically asking myself, do I think Southwest will be around in the foreseeable future? My answer is yes. 2, do I think their revenue and profit will be higher? Well, guess what? The revenue is also already higher before COVID. So 3, the question is, where's their profit going to be? If it just gets to 8%, which is still below their pre-COVID norms, I think it's a good buy. I'm not telling you to go buy the stock. Never buy a company because somebody else on the internet tells you to, but that's the foundation of my entire premise. Am I going to make 20% a year doing that? No. But I don't need to. The thing that's changed for me in my life was running my stock retirement calculator here and realizing that 6% returns I would still never run out of money. 12% returns, why do I need 20% returns? Why do I need that? My mentality has changed a lot, but this is why I love retirement calculator. And guys, I use retirement. I bet you if we did the stats, I use the retirement calculator the most out of any user. I bet you we went and looked at the stats on that. Can we look at the stats?
I'll find out.
All right, let's find out, because I bet you I've used it the most. Look in the last 3 months, last 4 months, at the beginning of the year. I bet you I'm number 1 user of retirement calculator.
The top 5
Okay.
in 2024. That's what I'll do.
Okay, yes, please. Kai Lang, have you done the retirement calculator? You might have enough to retire. 70% a lot. I mean, I don't know how much you make, but 70% a lot. Yeah, look, Kai, do you want to do it live? Well, we have to. Yeah, we should do it live right now.
Not part of the community, you can join and do it monthly.
Let's see. Oleg, Under Armour instead of Nike. Under Armour probably has more upside potential. I would agree with you on that. But Under Armour is kind of struggling. I don't see the path to a better future. I could be wrong, but it also doesn't fit necessarily my ideas. Well, China's had some shutdowns they're just coming out of. Yeah, that's true, Matt Jones. If I could own one stock, which would you choose? If I could own one ticker, it'd be SPY or VOO. Guys, we did a Starbucks video. Yeah, maybe it was short, but I look at Starbucks. I'm just going to pull up Starbucks right now. We did it yesterday. What are you laughing about, Tim?
Because it's just delaying our opportunity to buy it. And Nick's like, no.
Oh. Wait, you guys have the same rules against you?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes. The whole team applies.
Well, it's yesterday. I thought it was just me and Mo.
But you're talking about it now.
Yeah, I'm talking about it now. Oops.
Peace out.
I don't know. This is my view on Starbucks. I don't know where it's going to go from here, guys. You got to. That's part of the process. Is if you find a good company at a good price, the market can shift on it. Like I said, is a 15% pullback reasonable for a company like Starbucks today, based on what they reported? That's for you to decide. My personal opinion is it's hard for any multi-billion-dollar company to lose 15% of its value when still reporting a pretty decent profit that just didn't hit estimates. I don't know. Boom, boom, boom.
Canada Goose. I haven't heard the name Canada Goose as a stock in so long.
Oh yeah, neither have I. Hey Mo, do you like this guy? Do you like MAGA? Do you like MAGA 2024? Canada Goose is a high quality company. I have a couple of their products. They are warm as F. They are super warm.
One, I remember. So it's hard to pay $800 for a jacket or whatever, but I would buy $100 jackets, $200 jackets. And I finally was like, all right, forget it. I'll buy the $800 jacket. And I bought it. I was like, I wish I would have done this years ago.
It's incredible.
The best product. Their gloves are amazing. Their hats everything is amazing from that company.
Yeah, I know. Paul, why don't I talk about JD? I think it's because I have BABA, and maybe I'm not being smart by ignoring JD, but I have enough exposure in a company that I feel good about in China. So maybe that's why I don't talk about it much. I'm sure in the community, people would talk about it. Rami, good question. So remember, when reports are bad, Starbucks had a bad report. We can pick, so let me give an example here. Mo, remember that barber I told you about that was such an idiot, about real estate?
Yeah.
Years ago, I was buying a flip. And I went to the barber shop to get my hair cut. And this guy goes, oh, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm real estate. He's like, oh, you buy anything around here? I go, yeah, I bought a property down the street that I'm flipping. And he looked at me, he goes, you bought that property? I go, yeah. He goes, but the walls are 4-inch studs, not 6-inch. Do you realize that? And I looked at him going like, okay. And I remember thinking to myself, like, why the F does that matter? For him, that mattered immensely. He was like, basically like, that's a shitty built house. I made great money on that house. I look at this going, this is an example of people worrying about the wrong thing. The hard part about investing is, what's the right thing to worry about? That's why I try to take a much higher level approach to it. And guys, guess what? This is probably why I'm not going to make 15 to 20% returns, because I take a much higher view of it. And I find bigger companies and say, is this company this is what works for me. And by the way, in our community, there's lots of people who do way more detailed analysis than I do. Dalton does. But I look at it going, just like an S&P 500. Do I think the S&P 500, do I think the US economy will be bigger 10, 20 years from now than today? Yes. The hard part for me on the S&P is, can I pay a reasonable price for the S&P today? No, but again, if you're saving for decades, you will be fine. And the point is to get in the habit of saving. Taylor, great question. What's your thoughts or metrics on holding or selling a stock you own if it reaches overvalued territory? My thought of it is this. If I have plenty of cash sitting on the sideline, I just ride with it. If I'm fully invested and the stock has gotten absurd, maybe 3 times its value, and I have other opportunities that are much lower value that I could really deploy the cash to, then I would sell part of it, pay the tax, and move into the new value, move into the new equity. I'm trying to let things ride, because I've just seen great investors do it, and that's how they do well. and I'm just going to follow that, just like buying the S&P 500. I'm basically trying to create my own ETF based on certain metrics that work out well, and the chips will fall where they fall. Paul's the only stud he's worried about. Eyes on the prize, Barber. Oh, wow. 100% profit on the on Moderna. Is that Moderna, mDNA?
Yes.
No, Moderna's mRNA. No.
mRNA, yeah.
Mo, we can't hear you.
He's muted. He muted himself.
mRNA is Moderna.
So what's mDNA?
Medicina Therapeutics. No clue. It's 16 cents.
Check the market cap.
16 cents. It's 10. I can't talk about this company. It's $11 million market cap. I don't know if he meant Moderna. I don't think he meant that.
I don't think Moderna has doubled their money. Isn't that mRNA?
Yeah.
Bar, what I think you should do is this. I can't tell you what to do about, for a couple reasons. One, legally, and two, because I don't know your situation. What I would say is this. Value Meta and decide what you're going to do from there. Don't look at what you paid for it. If you worry about that you're up almost 100%, well, then if you were down 50%, would you sell it? What it is about buying good companies at good prices and riding it. Can I tell you something right now? I'm very effing jealous of you. Because I had Facebook much lower, and I sold out of it thinking of my emotional decision. But it's up to you, of course. But I would sit there and focus on what do you think it's worth, and what's your current situation financially. To sit there and say this is the right move, from a company standpoint, what's Facebook worth to you? What's Meta worth to you? Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Tyler. There's been a lot of news coming out about some negative news on consumers lately. But who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
Ooh. Paul, did you see? I saw something about Discover, and I remember we did a video on the Fed study from Q4 2023 and the credit card delinquencies. Mm-hmm. Well, Discover had said something like they're up.
They doubled their credit card delinquency reserves.
Oh, wow.
So, and I think
it was double.
They said it's at like 2008, 2009 levels, something like that for delinquencies for Discover.
Okay. Yeah, Pele, I can't really talk about that company. It's too small. Brian, I don't cover energy very much and that's a personal bias. I don't understand energy. I think it's too volatile. What I would say is I'd be interested in an energy company if the underlying commodity, the underlying energy source is at a really historical low. That's where I'd be like, okay, let me get some interest in there. Yeah, we talked about CVS a little bit. I haven't looked at, I think it's a better option than Walgreens. But I haven't looked. Discover could be an arbitrage play. I don't know what's going on with that. Paul's been noticeably quiet about rich people building doomsday bunkers. Listen, there's some pretty cool doomsday bunkers.
There's some sick doomsday bunkers.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dalton really likes energy and industrials. He's big. Yes, Greystone, this is live. Oh, 292, that's a record, I think, on a live stream. Let's get to 300. Let's see how we get there. I hope Discover doesn't go under. How am I supposed to get my 5% cash back? Oh, wow. What is SWKS?
Skyworks.
Oh, Skyworks. Got it.
Skyworks.
Guys, we've, I posted on Twitter. And by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, shame on you. EM Paul.
He's got it on the screen.
Oh, you do? Okay. So I,
Just point right here.
right here, Twitter, follow me. So yesterday, 2 days ago, Dalton sent Mo and I this tweet this guy sent about 16 to 18% risk, like recession-proof investment. And I basically wrote, guys, this is what I mean when I say things are too expensive and too easy. When things are that easy, when people are talking that way, that is not rational. That's not good and right. That's why I think that people haven't experienced a real long bear market. And I look at that saying, does that mean the world's going to come to an end? No. Hey, Eddie, I hope the Timberwolves do make it to the finals. I would love that. I don't look at this thinking to myself, 16, 18%, it's written so flippantly. Same with crypto, guys. I look at crypto as an example of things that just don't, like, People don't ever have a valuation for crypto. It's all just, well, there's limited supply. Well, cool. I'll take a dump in a bag and put it in the center of the room. That's a limited supply too. That's my analogy. Doesn't make it worthwhile. I don't know. You ever discuss equity risk premiums? I'd love to get your take. Well, I hate this troll Elon. Who's this troll Elon? Elon Musk?
Idea.
Elon Musk? I have no idea. Ever discuss, so equity risk premiums. Okay, so what do you, I look at everything as, okay, 90-day treasuries are 5.4%. So would I invest in an equity if I could make 7%? I look at it and going, no, probably not. I can get 5.4% basically guaranteed annualized. Why would I do that? So what kind of return do you need to invest in these things? And apart from different equities, which equity needs more and more premium? Like a Palantir, I think you should have a higher desired return on Palantir than on Microsoft, right? I think you should have a higher desired return on AMD than NVIDIA. Because they're smaller, they're riskier, they have to grow a little bit more nicely, they're entering the field. That's the way I look at these things. And it's not just a do this or do that. It's more about, okay, how do I look at everything as a whole and compare it to what my opportunity costs are? That's true, Hans. My dump is not in high demand yet. Oh, I haven't looked at Bath & Body Works. I have not looked at Bath & Body Works. 396. Did we hit 300 yet? Oh, they lowered their dividend? Wow, that's awesome, Taylor. 3M lowered their dividend. My dreams are coming true. I thought they did it like a while ago. I don't think it was recent, was it? Or maybe they went and did it even more. Yeah, Rolls-Royce. That's interesting. They make engines, baby. So Harsha, good question. Starbucks sold puts at $80 strike for May 19th. What do you do when the stock drops 15%? I get excited because I got my stock at my price. That's what I do. I always tell people, don't sell puts unless you want the stock at that price. So the way you look at it is, you got it for 80, less your premium, and it's down a little bit now. Okay. Now you can always roll it and close it out, take your loss, but rewrite a new one at a lower strike price. Yeah, more power to you. But at the end of the day, you're still taking some sort of hit. But it's okay. Mauricio, I have no idea when the right moment of the day to buy stocks is. You know, I wouldn't care about that. All I care about is what's the right price relative to value. That's it. I never, ever worry about what time of day I'm buying a stock. That's for me. Paul, how do you have such perfect hair? Do I have perfect hair? I don't think I have perfect hair.
You have good hair. That's for sure.
Guys, I used to be bald. Let me show you guys a picture. Let me show you guys a picture before I got my hair transplant when I was 30. Look at this. Look at this guy. Can you guys see this?
Why don't you airdrop it to Nick and we'll put it on the screen?
How do I airdrop it?
Everything Money Mac Studio?
No people found. Don's iMac. Everything money. There you go. Did you get it? It's coming through. Guys, this was me at the age of 30. This was me at the age of 30.
It's on now. Yep.
I see that. Look at that bad boy. Now, much better. Holy vein. I got 2 transplants done, Aaron. 2 transplants. Blu-ray, no, we did not. I don't even remember your comment, but we still love that we did it. This was our consultant last year said, you guys have to start a second channel. And then we just had to talk through it. No, I did not go to Turkey. I did not go to, oh my God, Paul unzips pants. So James, good question. How does the hair transplant work? They go to my back of my head. They took a big strip of hair like this out of my head. So not a hair of skin. They resealed it, stapled it back. Then they put the hair strip on this board. They cut it up into pieces, and then everybody pulled out the individual hairs. Then they come to my head and poke individual holes in my head and input one by one into the holes. That's how it was. It was an 8-hour day. And the first time I went, they're like, don't worry, we'll have a DVD player for you. I go there, they're like, yeah, DVD player is broken. I was like, thanks, guys.
And that was
Before like
Incoming
streaming on your phone, right?
What was that?
That was before like being able to stream things on your phone.
Yeah, like I don't remember we had YouTube really on our
Yeah, I
phone
don't
then.
think so. Yeah.
Definitely not apps.
Did
for
you
like,
still have a BlackBerry then?
No, I had.
Was that like iPhone 4 days?
Oh, maybe I did have a BlackBerry still.
You might have.
I might have still had a BlackBerry. It was 2010 or 11.
Did you guys
You
see
could have played that game where you the ball game. Remember the ball game where you like block the ball and Pong? Maybe it was called.
Pong?
You remember that?
Yeah, you remember that.
It was a fun game.
Did you see the Treasury 125 billion buyback program?
I did. I didn't look into it though. I saw it announced today though. Was it painful? It was not painful because it was painful. It was not painful. They gave me good meds. It was local anesthetic. They gave me Valium. That was the worst part. Remember once the Valium, guys, I don't do drugs. So Valium was my first time and I was just like loopy. And then you could feel the Valium wearing off because I started to get tense as they're ripping my skin off.
Okay.
Is there a reason why the earnings calendar is no longer on the EM site? Oh, he's going to address you.
From our provider, we were just seeing some that wasn't reliable. So we said we're going to take it down and find a new one. So we didn't want to give you guys bad information.
Go for it systems. Yeah, they had a bad earnings release. You know how I feel about
one
earnings
report.
releases. I just look at going, guys, go look at every company there. There's many times where revenue falls, earnings fall. The question is, I go back to my 3 questions. Do I think Starbucks will be around for the foreseeable future? My answer is yes. Do I think in that foreseeable future, 10, 20 years down the road, they're going to have more revenue and profit than today? My answer is yes. So the third question is, can I pay a reasonable price for that company today that gives me an adequate return on my capital? That's the question.
And go for it system. Don't focus on one report. One quarter, come on. You can't say that indicates strong future growth. It does not indicate strong future growth. It's one quarter.
Oh, CEO gave a horrible interview on CNBC with Jim Cramer. Basically had no idea how to turn things around. Maybe so.
That's that new guy. I can't remember his name, but
Yeah. Oh, Norwegian Cruise Line beat and has plummeted. Sick. Guys, it just goes to show we don't know what's going to happen on these things, ever. We don't know what's going to happen on earnings reports. Look at it last week. Meta beat both earnings and revenue. Stock collapsed. Elon, Tesla missed on earnings and revenue. Stock skyrocketed. Who the heck knows what's happening?
Oh, when do I sell? I sell when I have somewhere else to allocate capital to, or it's really it. I mean, the other way to do it is, I guess, if you're extreme, I wouldn't do it at 52-week highs. No, it doesn't make any sense.
You look at Michael Burry. He even talks about, he's like, I still look at 52-week lows and stuff like that when I buy into stocks. Like he still does that stuff. He's like, I can't get around that. Oh, thanks very much, John Jordan. I appreciate that very much. So right now, John, you can sign up $7 for 7 days to try it out, but we have limited spots. Yesterday's spots were sold out in the early afternoon. So go sign up now at everythingmoney.com/sign up and go check it out. And then afterwards, there's a monthly and yearly charge if you want it. You get to pick whether you pay monthly or yearly, but it's less than $1 a day on the yearly charge. So you have to decide for yourself what's worth it to you. But I appreciate you saying that. John, that tool gets used millions of times a year. It's incredible. Millions of times a year by our users. And the community is growing, and we just thought to ourselves, we got to limit the growth because we want really high quality people. So we put a limit in yesterday on how many people can sign up every day. And that limit will increase as our channel increases. But so go check it out. 10:48, about 10 more minutes, guys. Day, rewatch the stream because we've already discussed that, but I appreciate you asking. Yeah, you're right, Hans. The issue with earnings is that analysts can lower or raise expectations willy-nilly to make them look better or worse, up to the point of announcement. You're 100% right. Mo, I was looking for your channel on YouTube. What's the name exactly? James, he's not gonna announce it. It was very strict instructions by our consultant that we are not to announce our channels. We're starting a 4th channel later this month or in June, and we're not going to announce it to anybody because of our consultant saying you got to. Now the EM 24/7 was different because that one's a channel that is very broad-based, and that channel has done so well.
And even then, we only announced it a couple of times and left it alone.
Yep.
Because we don't want channel page views. We don't want direct video link views. So that's why we haven't shared those. But if you really want to find Mo, go search for it.
Yep.
And then, watch it. By the way, retirement calculator usage. You've used it 211 times this year.
Am I number one?
You're number one.
Yes.
But there's some other users that have used it a ton. There's somebody
211 times? I didn't even think it was that much.
211 times.
I thought it was going to be like 50. Am I addicted?
Somebody else used it 161 times. Another user used it 158 times. There's another one that used it 122 times. Somebody used it 74, 70, 67, 60. So it gets used a ton. Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, I use it as a way of like refocusing myself on my goals. I love Retirement Calculator for that reason. I literally use this thing to say, Paul, when I'm getting a little greedy, I go to this. When I'm feeling like, come on, I got to get better at this, I go to this and go, Paul, you don't need to. 6%, and you'd make enough for the rest of your life. You'd never run out of money, and you'd still end up hitting every financial goal you had. So relax, do the things you enjoy, like these channels, buying real estate. These are the things I enjoy doing. That's what I'm going to focus on. Wow, that's incredible. 211 times. I'm number one. I thought it was 50. Literally, I thought it was 50. SWKS. Let's take a look at it. Skyworks Solutions. I like this. Look at this. The first thing I like is market cap, enterprise value, 14.8 billion, 15.8, and their free cash flow is 1.66. Another thing I like, their free cash flow is greater than their net income. And they're selling for 9 times free cash flow. Interesting. Why is this? What is with Skyworks Solutions? It's down from 204's all-time high. Semiconductors for wireless handsets and other devices are used to enable wireless connectivity.
They were supposed to be one of the big leaders in like the 5G push.
Wowzer. Why is it selling so cheap? I have it on my watch list for under $80. Why do I have it at such a high amount though? Such a low amount? Maybe it's because I'm not desperate to own it. Oh, that's probably why. So guys, talk about process. My process has been, I don't know anything about Skyworks Solutions. I think it's a company that if you told me 10 years from now it didn't exist, I'd be like, okay, makes sense. I wouldn't be shocked by that. I'm not saying it won't be around. I'm just saying, so it doesn't really fit my long-term portfolio. So I'm not going to put a lot of money into it. So I want to get a really screaming deal on it before I would make an investment in there because it seems like it's pretty reasonable based on today. Let's pull up SWKS. I did it in November. Oh, I did a 14% return. There you go. That's why. Look at that. Yeah, so I'm waiting for it to hit my stock. Oh, wow. So why is it down 14% today? What did it do? It missed on something. I didn't even see that.
Let me pull it up. All right. They reported earnings today. They beat on top and bottom line. Earnings estimate was $1.52 per share. They came in at $1.55. Estimate for revenue 1.045 versus 1.046.
This rings a bell. Rick mentioned 66% of Skyworks revenue comes from Apple.
Oh,
that's
right.
I remember. Yes, I do remember something along. I didn't remember it was 66%, but I remember being like, oh, they're heavily reliant on Apple.
That's
LeBron
right.
should retire back to
memory.
Cleveland. Yes, he should. My thoughts on GM are no thoughts. Car business is tough, guys. But so is the airline business, and I'm still on, so I don't know. Who knows? 5 or 6 more minutes, guys. We got to 307, I think I saw. Number of people on. Yo, guys, urgent warning everyone, attempt to buy all stocks. The S&P is heading to a new record by 2024. Bye. Okay. That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm not doing that work, bud.
Okay, I'll do a quick stock analyzer on CVS.
If you want to tell me the answer to that story, you can, but I'm not going to dig for that.
All right. So here's CVS. I did 3, 4.5, and 6% revenue growth. Profit margin, I'm probably being conservative in my profit margin. I did 1.752 and 2.25. So let's do this. Let's do 2.25 and 2.5. Free cash flow has been pretty solid. We'll do 3.75, 4.25, 4.75. PE, let's do 13, 16, 19. It's got a lot of debt. And what's my annual return of 9%? Oh, shit. What the F? What's going on here? That's interesting. That's interesting. I think they got a lot of debt, though. That's what sucks. Yeah, huge debt levels. And their stock all-time high was only 113. 8 pillars. Yeah, a lot of debt, which is okay. Bad return on invested capital. Bad return on invested capital. Big dividend. Doesn't even eat up a ton of their cash flow. That's what's awesome. I don't know. What am I missing here, Mo? CVS is interesting.
Yeah, it is. I remember when we were, I don't know if we did this together or not, but I did a comparison. Actually, I think it was like a few good minutes that I did. It was a comparison between CVS and Walgreens, and I chose CVS as a superior product, but I never got involved in either one of them. With CVS and trying to open like minute clinics and that kind of stuff, it's interesting. It can certainly drive revenue. I just hope they don't swing and miss at it.
So here's Nike. Hans asked for Nike. Let me show you my assumptions, Hans. I don't know if my assumptions are good or bad, but I did these. I did 3, 5, and 7% revenue growth. I did profit of 10, 11, 12 because I did higher because I thought to myself, as you do more direct to consumer and free cash flow, I did the same thing. PE, I did 20, 23, and 26. Same with price of free cash flow and 9% desired return. Hit the analyze button. And I'm interested sub 85, but I think you're right though. For margin of safety, I don't think 70 is that far off. I'm going to start selling puts at lower than 85. Like once it hits 85, I'll start selling puts probably at lower prices to try to get the stock.
Nick, can you flash my screen right here? This is my Nike analysis real quick for Hans, just so you can take a look at it. I said my number is about $75 to start something on Nike. Paul, did you already start Nike?
Did I? I don't think so. I have to check.
I can't remember if you did or not, but mine is about $75. So it's getting there. Nike's one of those ones that goes to 90, goes back to 100, goes to 90, goes back to 100. So we'll see.
Okay. Well.
Thanks, Value Seeker. Safe travels.
Oh, yes. Have fun. Oh, Rob. Rob, how'd you miss us? Yeah, Baba has to skyrocket for you to afford that. I know. All right, guys, there's a minute left. We're just going to call this right now. Thanks very much. Again, everythingmoney.com/sign up, $7 for 7 days. Go sign up. There's limited spots every day now. And if you don't sign up early enough, you get on the wait list. So go do it. Take care.